ArsenalFanTV. We're over here in New Orleans for Gooner Gras. Things warming up nice. I've got Jess and Jupiter with me. They were at the event last night. You recovered?
Yeah, we're ready to go now. We're ready to go. Yeah, it's like, all right, now it's begun, like, officially.
Day two right here. Day two right here. I'm
Day
ready.
two. I wasn't really shouting from day one, I'll tell you. Now, listen, guys, so many Arsenal fans here from all over America. Right. Whereabouts have you come from, Jess?
I'm from New York.
I'm from the ATL.
You're from?
The ATL, Atlanta, baby.
Okay. And there is one thing that I've been really impressed with, and I've found it when I've come over here before, is that there are literally Arsenal groups all over America, aren't there?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy because I started following about 14 years ago, and I spent so much of my time having to watch at home by myself with my dog. And then, like, since coming to New York, there's such a community there, and like actually going to the pub and building the community.
Is that the Blind Pig?
Originally we started off at the Blind Pig, but we actually have 5 official pubs now.
Wow.
I'm a big fan of all 5 of them. O'Hanlon's, also 114th Street's another big one. Each pub is like great, and they all have like their own kind of atmosphere. Like Blind Pig's got one kind of thing, like they serve food and they kind of hang out. O'Hanlon's doesn't serve food, but it's got like that neighborhood kind of dive bar feel where everybody goes in there. And you don't just leave after the match, no matter what. You either celebrate or commiserate there. Barleycorn's our new one. It's right by World Trade Center. It's big. It's beautiful. Got a lot of space there, so we're really trying to build that one up. And we have 2 pubs in Brooklyn, Woodwork and Highbury Pub. And, so we're all over. And we're actually expanding. We've got satellite pubs in Queens. In Sunnyside, Bar 43, and Harlem Tavern up in Harlem. So we're definitely expanding even further. And every year we're growing more and more. It's absolutely outstanding.
Brilliant. And in Atlanta, what about you guys? Where's your spot?
We only have one spot, and it's the Brewhouse Cafe right in Little 5 Points, Atlanta. And we all come there every weekend just to watch.
Early in the morning sometimes?
Yes, very early in the morning. And they'll open up at 7 for us. Wow. Yes.
Now listen, how do you guys, you know what, the guys back in England always ask me, Robbie, how do these guys end up supporting Arsenal? And I love the stories behind it. With you, how did you end up supporting Arsenal?
I ended up watching Arsenal. The first match I ever saw was actually 14 years, like a couple of weeks ago. I just randomly kind of came across it, Arsenal versus Middlesbrough, and loved the red, loved Freddie. Loved Patrick Vieira, loved the guys, and I just immediately, and I thought the name Arsenal was just so cool. It's the only club that I really knew of ahead of that was Manchester United, and Arsenal was oh no, I was like, these are my guys, and that kind of kicked things off. And for a long time, like I said, in North Carolina there wasn't really a community. It's really great now, but when I started following the club, it was people didn't even know what Arsenal was. It was very solitary. And then I actually did a study abroad seminar in London, and I was there for the Champions League final in 2006, and that ended up pretty miserable. But it's I think once you kind of experience that, you've experienced the highs and you experience the lows, and you really at that point you know that you're in. There's no getting out.
No way out. I know that.
You're it's in.
Yeah,
that's it.
Sometimes I want to get out, man. Trust me, but you can't. You can't get out.
Yeah, you gotta. It's like the marriage. You can't. There's no divorce. There's no divorce. And
for life.
And it's everybody. It's people are you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you go to the pub, and I'm they're like. That's mental. And I'm like, you don't understand. I was it's my choice was made long ago.
Now, what about you? How did you get into Arsenal?
It was actually a family thing. My family's from the Caribbean, so we've been watching football for a long time, and I would say it's about 30 years. My uncle got me into it, and I used to watch the replays. I used to watch the Santa back when you couldn't watch. I went to the bar. Then I moved to Atlanta, and there was a huge community there, and I found my bar, I found my home, I found my spot, and that's where I've been for the last 15 years there. So before that, I had no place, but my uncle telling me how we were doing and not to go for Man U and not to go for Liverpool.
I like your uncle, man. Your uncle's, yeah. That's a good guy, man. Trust me. Salute to the uncle, man. Trust me. I like that. Now, listen, what have you made of Arsenal recently? Of course, we had that win against Chelsea the other night in the Carabao Cup, so we're through to another final. Hasn't been going that great in the league. The whole Alexis Sanchez drama. I hope your dogs are not named Atten and Mahumba, by the way.
No,
right?
Definitely not.
But,
Definitely not.
But the whole Alexis drama. But we have got in Mkhitaryan and the possibility of signing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, which would be great as well. I mean, do you think things can turn around at Arsenal?
turn around. You know, that's the thing about Arsenal. It's like you never want to count us in and you never want to count us out. I always say for the last several years, my mantra has been we are consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like if there's one thing about Arsenal, it is that we are consistently inconsistent. We can be brilliant or we can be absolute shit. It's like you never know. It's like, you know, you go beat Chelsea or Man City one week and then the next week you turn around and lose to Bournemouth or you lose to Watford and fuck Troy Deeney, by the way.
Poor Troy, I know he's regretting that. I actually met him a couple of times. He's a really nice guy, but I think he's regretting that comment he made. He's actually, you know what, funny enough, Troy Deeney, his kids, they're all Arsenal fans.
Well, but, you know, it's like, listen, don't listen to your dad. You know?
But do you think things are kind of on the way up for Arsenal after this really rough period with the whole Alexis thing?
Honestly, for me, you know, Alexis, I think I was ready for him to go. Like, I kind of, like, as talented as he was, you know, clearly you could see that there's things happening. And whatever he wants to say now or whatever the whole thing with him and Thierry, it's like, you know, whatever you want to say, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you see when people don't like each other and you see like a toxic atmosphere and you see like once that Palace match, I was like, these guys are out there, they have something to prove and they were out there and they played as a unit and it ended up nice and easy for us. Okay. But I would rather, if you don't want to play for the Arsenal, you can fuck off as far as I'm concerned.
That's the thing. Anything that causes poison, just we need to get it out.
But to me, keeping Ozil, it's like I would love to bring in more guys, but to me, it really hinges on Ozil and can we keep him and build a team around him? Because if we've got Mkhitaryan and everything, but it's like if we can get somebody that Ozil can really provide service to, I feel like that'll really put us up. So we're gonna have to see what happens by deadline day next week.
Okay, and finally you, what about you on the whole Alexis thing? It did drag on for quite a while. Are you sort of sad to see him go?
I was sad to see him go because I was a big fan when we acquired him, and he did do well for just a couple of years, and then it just became poison, and we don't need any poison. We don't need that level of toxicity. And if you don't want to play, then don't play. Just go somewhere else, you know. I think we're going through some humble times right now, and we needed that, you know. Oh, yeah, we always make the top four, so what? We need to win the championship, and I don't think we can do that unless we have a humble period like we're going through right now.
Good point you kind of make, you know what I mean? It's hard to, as a fan, when you're there, you just want to win, but you're right, isn't it? Sometimes you have to, in order to build back, you do have to go through a bit of humble times.
You do, because if you think about it, the other teams have gone through their humble period, and look where they are now. So the other big five, you know, it's just, we need to do the same. And we have to make the changes that are necessary for us to win the championship. I'm sick of 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to win. And we need to make whatever changes are necessary. I don't know what those are. I'm not an expert. But somebody better figure the shit out.
Well, you know what? There's about 1 million experts back in England, trust me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not up to us, you know. It's not up to us. But
well, listen, ladies, thank you very much. I love your support. It's brilliant. And enjoy Gooner Gras.
Oh, we will, yeah.